Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at the brand new app from Olcay, Harmonicc chord sequencer AUV3, which creates chords with emojis. So we're going to look at this in Drambo. I'm going to slide this MIDI to CV thing over till we see this little plus, then let go, then go to MIDI. And we want to be scrolling to the top, audio unit MIDI processor. We'll click on the little toaster icon here, and we shall go. We can search for it, but we can go and find it. Harmonicc. So there it is, Harmonicc or Harmonics, or I don't know how it's pronounced. Anyway, right. First of all, I want to connect SynthMaster. So I've got the sound. And at the moment, it's been played via my MIDI keyboard, but I want to have Harmonicc play SynthMaster. So I'm going to click on the little MIDI icon here and connect it to Harmonicc. Right, let's open it up and have a look. What's occurring here? Right, okay, let's go full screen. Now, you'll see you're presented with tons of emojis, right? All these emojis are different chords depending on the key you select. So just for fun, let's change it to a D. And then hit done. And then you have different scales, or well, you have scales, okay, but then you have styles. So if we change this to say a Baroque type style, but you have romantic, swing, bebop, you have look, all these different cool styles. We'll take a look at some of these nice. Let's go with ambient. I'm going to click done, and you'll see all these chords will change. Now, to audition a chord, just tap on it, and if you want to load it into the sequencer, you just let go. Okay, so there it is. And if I want this one, which is a bit weird and I don't want it, I move out the way from pressing and then release. Okay, so that way this chord will not be added to the sequencer. Let's just delete this chord. Okay, so we'll just go boom and bin. Now, you can also switch off this little record icon here, and you can audition as many chords as you like. Now, you will notice that each time I press a different chord, it will give me a different selection of chords that are going to work well with that particular chord. So, for example, if I switch my record button back on here and I choose this chord, all these chords are going to change. Watch. And it's going to be added to there. So all these chords will kind of fit with this chord. So, and then this one. And now we've got this little 4-chord sequence here, right? So if I scroll this out the way, and I've got my BPM set on 100. I'm going to scroll this out the way and press play. And it'll repeat. Very nice. And it does sound really good, actually. Right, once you've got a chord sequence you like, you can stop the transport. We can stop it here. But our Drambo transport will be still running, so we can start it off anytime we like. Let's stop the Drambo transport for now. Now, what you can do is, if you've built a sequence that you like, you can open the sequencer and change various ways that each of these chords play. So, for example, we've got a duration of 1 bar here, or a duration of 1. Let's change this to a duration of 2 and click done. And now when we press play on Drambo, this first one will play for 2 chords, 2 bars if you like. Okay, but you know it's not repeating. So let's change the repeats to 2. Cool. Let's change the octave range for this to 4 and 3. Let's change our repeats back down to 1 for this, and the duration back down to 1. Let's change our chords for this as well to 3 and 4. Okay, look. Let's add a bass note in for this one. So maybe 1 at 0. Hear that now? Let's add a bass note in for this, maybe at 1. We'll hear it next time it comes round. Nice. We can now invert the chords if we want. So this will just invert the chord it's playing based on the key, which is D. So it's the same chord, but we've got an inversion of F sharp going on. Let's invert this one to C. Done. Now we can build sequences longer than 4 chords, of course. Okay, cool. We also have gating. We can change any of these by moving up and down like this. So this is a short gate. Okay, short gate. Or we can just tap on it and we can set the percentage more accurately, say to 56 and hit done. Now, let's just stop this sec, shall we? Now, here's the thing. I'm going to bin this sequence completely. So bin, because that's basically how the sequence works. You can play around. There's other things we can do. We haven't finished yet, of course. Now, let's choose a different style. Let's say like, let's go with cinematic, done. All these chords are going to change, right? So let's just audition a few of these chords. So maybe this one. And don't forget, I'm going to tap on it and I'm going to move my finger out the way. So I'm not going to add that chord in. If I tap on this and add it in, you'll see that all the chords will change, right? So we can stay with this. And the emojis kind of give you an idea of the flavour of the chord. So this should be happy. There you go. This should be sad. Right, so you get the idea, and there's, loads of them. Right, if we do not want our chords to change every time we add a chord, for example, adding a chord like this, let me just turn my volume up a little bit. Adding a chord like this, as soon as I tap on this and release and don't move away, it's going to add the chord to the sequence, and all these other chords are going to change, right? You might not want that, although it's fine. Also, the other way of doing this is if we delete that chord, right? We can also delete the chords from the sequence view when we've got chords in there. Like I said before, if we switch this record button off, none of these chords will be added to the sequence, but every time I press a chord, it will change. Okay, you might not want that. So let's choose a different style. Again, just to hear some different styles. Let's go with, say, there's loads and loads. Look, let's go with avant-garde. Okay, done. This should be quite strange, I guess. So you've got a selection of avant-garde chords here. I'm going to switch the record on. But this time, you see this little button up here. I'm going to tap this and it's going to put a drag through it. Now, what will happen is as I add chords to my sequence, I can still audition them. And don't forget to move your finger away to release and not add the chord. But now when I add a chord, it will not randomize the chord sequence. So you might think, well, I love these chords, but I don't want them to randomize every time I add one. So you can do that. Make sure that this little button is switched on and then just start adding chords in. And that means you can then duplicate chords. which is difficult to do if you've randomized the chord and can't find it again, right? So I might want to add 2 of them, and I can. So if I press play now, suitably eerie, and it'll just repeat. Let's stop it there. So we know our Drambo transport is running anyway. Now we have a few different options. The cool thing is now we can just change the style and the scale. We can change the key, for example, if I'm playing this and I change the key to F, but you'll see it's changed the chords up. But can't stop that, so let's leave it on that. We also have lo-fi. What this is going to do, depending, now we just like change it in the sequence, if we drag up on this, we can change it, or if we tap on it, we can get into the menu. So let's go with quite a high percentage of lo-fi, and what this will do will mess with the timing of those chords. So let's have 76%, and it's going to nudge certain aspects of the chord off grid. So now if you listen, let's increase the percentage of the drift and randomization sort of thing. Let's go 100%. So, well, wacky. Okay, let's take our lo-fi-ness back down to, down to 0%. And hit done. So now we'll just be playing straight chords. Let's add another chord in for fun. Now what we've got is strum. So what that will do is literally we'll strum the chord. So if we click on this and let's go 100% again so you can hear the effect. Let's open up our sequence set. You can change the position of chords. So we've got these 2 that are the same chord. Let's move one of them to there. Maybe add a few bass notes in these, maybe some ones here. Very nice. It sounds really nice with the basses, of course. Now, of course, depending on the sound, here we go. Change this one to 2. Nice. We can skip this one, but it'll still leave the duration in. Okay, what else have we got here? And then gate and velocity. Now, if we apply some lo-fi-ness while it's strumming as well, so let's go quite high. See, the timing's off now, but it sounds quite human. So we could make this a little bit more kind of controlled, 38%. Let's take the strum down as well, maybe to 72. Okay, very cool. So let's bin this one. Okay, cool. Let's just stop the transport and go back and find something else. So let's have a look at, let's just check out some other things. We've got scales. What we'll do is we'll select a bunch of notes. I will change the style for a start off to something else. Maybe we could go with a, what do you got? Look, let's look at jazz. Pick some jazzy chords. Now, don't forget that we're locked in here, so I'm going to use the locked in version. I'm going to play a few of these just to test them. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let's just add a bunch of these in for fun. Let's add 4 of them. Don't forget it's playing, so let's stop that for a sec. So we've got these chords here. We've got our strum going on our lo-fi. Let's just sort this stuff out, shall we? Let's maybe go with 0% lo-finess. Okay, and we'll take the strum off as well. So no strumming done. So we're just playing straight chords. We can change the keys and scales on the fly. So let's play. Like changing the keys. Now we've changed it to D. But we can also change the scale. So at the moment it's just, let's go to minor scale. Let's go to something that we might notice. Maybe this, whatever that is. We don't have to hit them with this by the sound of it. We can just... Very cool. Okay, and then we could add, say, a bunch more chords in. Like, now we've got 8 chords playing, which is good for Drambo, so... So, to record in any MIDI effect in Drambo, you now have, when you add a MIDI effect, whether it be any of the other Bud apps or what have you, you have a record button. So we know we've got eight chords here. So let's just double this up to 64, which is 4. Let's double it up again. 128. Now we have 8. This is the maximum Drambo. We've got 8 chords. All we need to do to record that chord sequence into Drambo is hit record on here and then press play. We don't need to press record, just press play. Okay, cool beans. That's done. Switch that off, and now you don't actually need the MIDI in. So let's reconnect our MIDI keyboard to our MIDI input. And now Harmonicc C won't be playing this, but this will. So I can play over the top of it if I want to. You get the idea. It's not affecting our control. It's not playing it, if you like. So if we could, it's not making any difference at all. We've already recorded it in. Awesome stuff. So let's stop that. So there you go. There is a look at Harmonicc C or Harmoniccs. I don't know how has this pronounced, but it really doesn't matter. It's just a very cool way to create. We won't hear nothing now because I'm not connected. So let's just quickly reconnect this back up. And of course, you can use it. I'm using SynthMaster too, but you can use anything you like. I'm just going to reconnect it to this, and we can. So it has, yeah, some really, really nice styles. I like the styles thing because it makes stuff interesting. You can experiment with different styles. What we've got flamenco done, and all this is going to change the flamenco style chords. It's been that. We don't need it. We don't need it anyway now because we've recorded our MIDI in, but you know, we've got some. And don't forget, if this is locked, you can add a chord and it will not get rid of this. If this is unlocked, you add a chord and it will give you a bunch of chords. It will progress nicely from this. And of course, depending on what your key is and your scale, there you go. Thanks very much for watching. Like I said, you do have loads and loads of different kinds of styles and stuff. Look at this Mediterranean. Be lots of those. What's some of those styles that we had? Very impressive these styles are. I like them. The emoji thing is very cool. Contemporary. Nice. Lots of them. Look at that. Anyway, so there you go. That's how it works. It's dead easy. You can use it in your AUM, your Cubasis, anything you like. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Please consider becoming a patron, even if it's just over Christmas. You know, it really does help us out here. Oh yeah, help us out over, you know, the sound test room. There was one other thing as well. You can play these with your MIDI keyboard if everything is not running. If this is on, obviously you can't. Well, you can. But you can play it with your MIDI keyboard if you want to, but really there's not a great deal of point here. Got a hung note now, look. It's me messing around too much. Right, let me turn that volume down. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later. Ta-ra.